Most importantly, you deserve our gratitude for ensuring that Allison Krauss, Jeffrey Miller, Sandra Scheuer, and William Schroeder will never be forgotten. And that the 9 students who were injured here on May 4th will not be forgotten as well. And that we will also remember the loss of students 11 days later at Jackson State. None will be forgotten. Although I've never had the pleasure of knowing her, I am so glad that today the task force is also remembering the contributions of the late Carol Barbado. She is one of a number of Kent State faculty members who have devoted so much of themselves to keeping the memories and lessons of May 70 alive. They also include the late Glenn Frank, Professor Emeritus Jerry Lewis, Professor Tom Hensley, and Carol's dear friend, Professor Emerita Laura Davis. You know, in these last 10 months, I have been truly touched by the hundreds of individuals who have told me about the ways that May 4th changed their lives. Like Carol Barbado, they are among countless alumni who found that being here in 1970 crystallized their values and sparked their life's work. For me and so many here and around the world, the events of and surrounding May 4th, 1970 remain a vivid memory. I was a senior at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Along with universities nationwide, our campus was actively voicing concerns about the state of our divided nation and the war in Vietnam. Although I was far from Kent, Ohio, my heart flew here in an instant when I heard the shocking news that 4 members of my generation had been killed on this campus. I certainly could not have imagined that 45 years later, I would be president of this wonderful university that holds such an indelible place in American history and such a vivid and visceral personal place in my mind and heart. Then as now, I believe our community has a solemn and enduring responsibility to honor the promising young lives that we lost on that day. We owe it to powerfully and accurately share our unique history and to teach the painful lessons of that day. Through our superb Center for Applied Conflict Management and through our May 4th Visitor Center, through the efforts of dedicated faculty, staff, and alumni that you see, and through the continuing commitment of the task force. About 72 hours ago, I was inaugurated as Kent State's 12th president. As part of my inaugural address, I noted that as Kent State pursues an incredibly bright future, we will continue to honor our past. Because it's not only the right thing to do, it is our moral and ethical obligation to share the 45-year-old lessons of May 4th with a world that remains troubled and torn by war and filled with injustice. Again, I want to thank the task force for your efforts to accomplish these ongoing goals and for the continuing meaningful traditions of the Candlelight Walk, the Vigil, and this commemoration. I also want to recognize the many current faculty members who, to borrow from Graham Nash, continue to teach our children well. They include Task Force Advisor Kabir Saeed and our Department of Pan-African Studies. And let me say to the May 4th families, the students who were wounded here and have traveled here today, I am so sorry for the pain you have experienced and continue to experience. I know it is a kind of pain that is not diminished by the passage of time. I hope you do find comfort and empathy and support of today's Kent State community and of our abiding commitment to never forget. Finally, I applaud everyone here for taking time to remember, to honor, and recommit to the values of peace, justice, and human dignity. You are the part of the reason that Kent State in 2015 stands as a reminder that we must remain vigilant in protecting our cherished rights to speak and gather freely, to let all voices be heard without fear and heard with civility, and to continue working together toward a world in which all conflicts can be resolved peacefully. It is good, very good, to know that many members of our community, especially our students, have taken to heart the well-known words of Mahatma Gandhi: "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Thank you, everyone.